Long ago, in a small village surrounded by fields and mountains, there lived 3 brothers named Kwaku, Kojo, and Kwabina. They were the sons of a poor farmer, and though they had little, the brothers were known for always working together. Their father often reminded them that no matter what problems they faced, they must stay united, for they were stronger together. One year, a terrible drought hit the land. The rivers dried up, crops failed, and the animals left in search of water. The villagers were struggling, and the brothers' family was suffering as well. As the drought worsened, their father grew ill and weak. On his deathbed, he called his sons to him and shared one last piece of advice. "My sons," he began, "there is still hope. Far from here, there is a magic tree that can restore life to the land. The tree grows in a distant place where the sun touches the horizon at dusk. The journey to find it is dangerous, but if you stay united, you may succeed." With these words, their father passed away, leaving the brothers with a heavy responsibility. They knew that they had to find the magic tree, not just for themselves, but for the entire village. The brothers packed their belongings, said goodbye to the villagers, and set off toward the horizon in search of the tree. The journey took them through dried-up rivers, over mountains, and deep into dark forest. Along the way, they faced many challenges, but their bond remained strong. After many days of walking, they came to a fork in the road. One path led into a dense forest filled with tall, dark trees. The other led into a wide desert, with golden sands stretching as far as the eye could see. Kwaku, the oldest, looked at the forest and said, "We should go through the forest. It may be dark, but it will provide shade and protection from the sun." Kojo, the middle brother, disagreed. "The forest is too dangerous. There could be wild animals or traps. The desert may be hot, but we can move faster." Kwabina, the youngest, noticed that they were starting to argue. Remembering their father's words, he spoke up. "Brothers, we must not let this decision divide us. We are stronger together, and we must make this choice as one." The brothers paused, thinking about Kwabina's words. They decided to take the forest path but agreed to be very careful. The forest of shadows, as it was known, was full of strange noises and eerie shapes. The trees whispered in the wind, and shadows danced among the branches. The deeper they walked into the forest, the darker it became. One evening, as they set up camp, a figure cloaked in darkness appeared before them. Its eyes glowed in the moonlight, and its voice was soft but unsettling. "Who dares to enter my forest?" the figure asked. The brothers stood their ground, unafraid. Kwaku spoke up. "We are 3 brothers searching for the magic tree. We mean no harm." The figure chuckled, a low, eerie sound. "Many have searched for the magic tree, but none have returned. Do you really think you are worthy of its power?" Kojo stepped forward. "We do not seek the tree for ourselves. Our village is suffering from drought, and we need its magic to bring life back to the land." The figure studied them for a moment before speaking again. "If you truly wish to find the magic tree, you must pass 3 tests. Only then will you be allowed to continue." The brothers knew they had no other choice, so they agreed. The first test came the next morning. When the brothers woke up, they found that the forest had changed. The trees had grown taller and thicker, blocking out all the light and plunging the forest into total darkness. The only way forward was through a narrow, winding path covered with sharp thorns and bushes. "This is a test of endurance," Kwaku said. "We must keep going, no matter how difficult the path becomes. The brothers pushed ahead, their clothes and skin scratched and torn by the sharp branches. The journey was painful, but they stayed together, helping each other through the toughest parts. By the time they made it out of the dark path, they were bruised and tired, but their bond was stronger than ever. The second test came when they reached a wide, fast-moving river. There was no bridge, and the water was wild and dangerous. "This is a test of wisdom," Kojo said. "We must find a way to cross without being swept away." Using the materials they had with them, along with some fallen branches and vines from the forest, the brothers built a small raft. Kwaku steered, Kojo paddled, and Kwabena kept an eye out for danger. Together, they navigated the rushing water and safely reached the other side. Finally, the brothers arrived at a clearing where the magic tree stood. Its branches shimmered with a golden light, and its leaves sparkled as if they were made of jewels. But as they approached, the ground began to shake, and a giant spirit rose from the earth, towering over them. "This is a test of bravery," Kwabena whispered. The spirit's voice boomed like thunder. "Only those who are brave enough to face me may take the fruit of the magic tree. But be warned, if you fail, you will be trapped here forever." The brothers knew that they had to face the spirit together. Without hesitation, they stood side by side, holding on to each other. The ground shook beneath their feet, and the spirit's roar echoed in their ears, but they did not back down. Their courage, drawn from their unity, kept them strong. With each step they took toward the tree, the spirit began to fade, until it finally disappeared. With great care, the brothers picked a single fruit from the magic tree. As they held it, the tree's light grew brighter, and the land around them began to change. Rivers flowed once more, trees blossomed, and the dry earth became rich and green. Carrying the magic fruit, the brothers returned to their village. When they arrived, they planted its seed in the center of the village. Soon, a new tree sprouted, and with it came gentle rains that brought life back to the fields and rivers. The villagers were overjoyed, and the brothers were celebrated as heroes. But Kwaku, Kojo, and Kwabena knew that the true magic was not just in the tree, it was in their unity. By staying together, they had faced every challenge and brought life back to their people. And so, the village thrived, and the brothers' story was passed down through the generations as a reminder that even in the hardest of times, working together with trust and courage can create miracles.